Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And I am, as always, your humble host, Van Ebert, here as I take you down the road of a discussion for How to Make a Killing, the latest Glen Powell movie. And he's been trying to make it big ever since, actually, even as far back as when he was in The Dark Knight Rises of all movies right there. He was the stockbroker that basically got his head bashed in by Bane. And then later on, he did a Expendables movie. And then he really found his claim to fame here in Top Gun Maverick as Hangman. And now he's trying to be the next Tom Cruise. But does this movie get him over the edge to accomplish that mission to make him Top Gun? Well, we'll discuss that in more detail, but not until after this.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody, welcome back here, especially to my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there in the world, okay? We are a proud race. We are a proud people. We love our movies. We're maniacs about the movies here. Not so much about the terrible ones, but when there's a good one, yeah, you're gonna have to fit us with a straitjacket because we are maniacs about the movies we love. And How to Make a Killing, is that a movie that I'm a maniac over, that I'm crazy about? Well, I won't keep it in suspense anymore. Not really. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not a maniac about this movie here. It's all right. It's good enough for me to recommend that you do go see it at the theaters, just simply to support original movies coming out in theaters here and not being automatically shoveled into the into the Netflix shit pile or Hulu or Amazon Prime. You get a chance to see it on the big screen with the best audio there. And so that's why I recommended last Sunday when I did my spoiler-free review of How to Make a Killing, that I recommended that you go see it at the theaters there. But I was saying before the intro there that Glen Powell, is this the movie that sets him soaring to the top? Is this the movie that he got strapped onto like a bottle rocket and it's just gonna boo, just shoot him right into outer space? So he's like up there in the upper echelon with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and Keanu and Mel Gibson back in the day and Clint Eastwood back in the day. Like, is it that movie? Well, in a word, no, it is not. It is not. I think that The Running Man actually last year was a better vehicle to maybe shoot him up into the acting, the fame stratosphere. Okay. But unfortunately for him, that movie really sucked balls. And so it was never going to be the movie. The movie just didn't have that coolness, didn't have that, oh my God, factor like the movies that made Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, big. Now Tom Cruise, he made it big with the movie, obviously with the movie Top Gun. And he basically made a big with Top Gun, mostly because Top Gun was that, oh my God, this is so cool, movie. Now, Brad Pitt, he made it into the mainstream with Legends of the Fall, which Legends of the Fall is a good movie, but it's not like, oh my God, it's not that. It's not that. He got his shot into fame into the fame stratosphere off of that one for a different reason than say Top Gun got that for Tom Cruise. So in Legends of the Fall, like Brad Pitt, they would be together later on in an interview with a vampire, but that's another story. Brad Pitt got the ladies. All right, the ladies loved him in Legends of the Fall, and the ladies spread the word. And I'm sure there's more than a few casting directors out there, that were thirsting for some Brad Pitt, and they started, putting him in all kinds of movies and that kind of thing. So that's how he got big. Mel Gibson with the Mad Max movies, Lethal Weapon really put him over the top as far as making him famous there. So I mean, just point to your big time star, and most people can just like kind of put their finger right on the movie that really got them to start talking about that particular star right there. And Glen Powell just hasn't had that movie yet. Just hasn't had that Top Gun. He hasn't had the Legends of the Fall. He hasn't had the Lethal Weapon movie. He hasn't had the Point Break or Speed. If we're talking Keanu Reeves or whatever, he hasn't had that wow movie that Russell Crowe, another great example. Russell Crowe with Gladiator. He hasn't had his Gladiator yet. And I thought a movie that might do that for him was Hitman, but that movie I don't even think it was even hit theaters because I think it's just a Netflix movie. I know some Netflix movies get put out in theaters, like Frankenstein last year got put out in theaters, like just for the minimum amount of time it took to be eligible for the Oscars. But I don't think Hitman ever made it to the theaters. But I say that because Hitman is outside of Top Gun Maverick. It's my favorite Glen Powell movie, and you can't really call Top Gun Maverick a Glen Powell movie. He's just a supporting character. Obviously, that's a Tom Cruise movie. But Hitman, yeah, that's a movie where I think if it would have got good marketing and would have been out in theaters and would have been released at a good time, it would have been like a good March, April movie, or November, December movie, something like that. I think it could have done very well because if you watch Hitman with again, obviously with Glen Powell, you'll really be impressed with his acting there. Some might say Twisters was a movie that was supposed to just catapult Glen Powell to fame, but he had too many other people in that movie with them there, so he wasn't allowed to be like the main character of that movie. They had to have the girl boss in there with them as well. So, but let me check something here real quick. And since I did remember to check this here, it's reminding me to remind you that, hey, since this show is on live, you can get in the live chat and we can communicate back and forth with each other via the live chat. Okay. And the live chat's perfect for, talking about this, just how to make a killing movie I'm talking about, or any Glen Powell movie, or hell, any movie you want to talk about. Hell, I mean, I'll go even beyond that. Ultimately, the live chat, you can live chat about whatever you want on there. I can't stop you right there. And hey, I wouldn't want to. Okay. I want this to be a free speech zone. So, and I would think that one of the biggest selling points of encouraging people to get in a live chat, one of the biggest selling points for you to get in a live chat is, hey, as you would imagine with this show, I have a kind of a little itinerary that I go through and a little schedule, a little checklist and all that. And if you want to get in a live chat and just start throwing a bunch of static my way just to throw me off, hey, Van, you suck. All right. I'm starting a petition, to get you off of YouTube. All right. You're terrible. You're trash, you're garbage, that kind of thing. Hey, throw it in the live chat, and try to throw me off there or something like that. So it's fun. It's your chance to do your worst. So there you go. So yeah, live chat. You can live chat to me on Rumble or YouTube right there. Hey, just live chat with me. Hey, what's a Summer Sue all about right there? This beer I'm about to drink. It'll be talking about that later on, of course, in Brew Review Time, a segment I do on every Movies Merica show. But yeah, and that reminds me too. If you guys are pounding stuff back, man, about beer, I know beer or Cosmo, maybe you're a martini girl or guy. Anyway, I know a lot of guys drink martinis and they're manly, manly men. So I shouldn't put it that way. Whatever you're drinking, man, hell yeah, toss them back right here because this is Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. It's almost the weekend. When you watch this show, you're supposed to relax and kick back. All right. You've had a long day, grinding, long day, grinding in the coal mines or whatever your job is. Maybe you're an accountant or whatever, but now it's time to relax. You've punched out for the day, and let's talk about some how to make a killing here with Glen Powell, shall we? So it's time to move on. All right. So as we know in How to Make a Killing, Glen Powell's character's name is Beckett there, and was it Beckett Red Redfoot or something like that or whatever. Anyways, last name is unimportant, but I bet one thing that Beckett thought of while he was sitting on death row was what if he could have just met his cousin Noah first, which would have introduced him to Ruth, and then him and Ruth would have hit it off. At that point, he had already met his Uncle Warren and had a good job and was rising up the ranks. I mean, he could have just stopped there and had a happy life. And I should stop there real quick and kind of back up and say that, like I mentioned, he's sitting on death row, and that's how this movie starts out. If you've seen it, this movie starts out with it shows Beckett. He's in a jail cell. He's on death row. This priest comes to talk to him, and at first Beckett doesn't want to talk to the priest, and then the priest, makes a good point. He's like, "Hey, your time is almost up. I mean, this is very well the last time you'll ever be able to talk to somebody before, you know." And Beckett hears that. He's like, it's a good point. It's a good point. All right, hey, Father. You're gonna regret this maybe, but it's story time, and then that's where our movie starts right there. And I gotta admit, for a second there, I was kind of annoyed. I was kind of perturbed that it started out with him in death row and that they were giving away his fate. They're giving away where he was going to end up at the end of the movie. And then I was like, well, no, we've seen movies where the character starts out in jail, and then later on, after further way into the movie, we catch up to where they're in jail, and then they get released, and that's not the end of the movie or anything like that. So we've seen movies like that. So I knew not to just assume that since he was on death row at the beginning of the movie that he was actually going, to be executed there. So, but that gets the movie all pumped up. It gets it kicked off here where he's explaining to the priest about his whole life there, and we find out like he's cool as a cucumber when he's sitting there in that cell on death row and he's talking to the priest. He's all just full of charm and wit and charisma and all that stuff while he's talking on there. Where most people on death row, they'd be shaking their boots and pissing themselves. And oh my God, is the governor called? Oh my God, are they still gonna kill me? Like not Beckett. Beckett's just like, hey, how you doing there, Father? Yeah. Hey, would you like to hear a story? Oh yeah. You know what? They brought me this food. They didn't bring me what I wanted, but what are you gonna do, right? I mean, you only live once, right? I mean, it's all good. But hey, Father, you look very good right there. Why? I like how you do your hair. Like, he's just all just talking, he's in the middle of a park on a park bench on a nice sunny day, not sitting in a cell on death row. And we find out, at the end, that the reason that he's so calm, cool, and collected in that is because he's pretty sure that what's her Julia, played by Margaret Qualley, is going to show up with some evidence that proves that he did not kill her husband. there, because that's the reason that he got thrown into jail, is for a murder he didn't even commit. He murdered plenty of other people. He just didn't murder the person that he was put into prison for, and sent to death row for. And so, yeah, he's like sitting there all cool as a cucumber, thinking that, hey, yeah, time is short, but Julia should be here anytime, right? Okay. And so it's just one of those kind of plot twists that it's kind of fascinating, kind of intriguing, that kind of thing. So, now, as I mentioned before, the movie does not end. It turns out the movie does not end with him, getting executed or anything like that. So Julia does come through. Okay, she comes through. She basically what's the evidence? I think it's like a letter opener or something like that, or something where a letter opener proves somehow, like maybe it had somebody else's prints on it or something like that. It proved that Beckett did not kill her husband, and so they end up releasing him, and he gets out of prison. And at first, when he gets out of prison, okay, he looks across the parking lot and he sees Ruth. Okay, and Ruth is played by Jessica Henwick, one of my favorite actresses, just because I find her personally very hot. But she's there in the parking lot, up against the car there. I'm thinking, like, all right, okay. I mean, if you're a fan of happy endings, this is cool. I mean, he's going to walk up to her. They're going to kind of banter back and forth. Going to have some cute little couple talk, and they're going to kiss, and they're going to drive off into the sunset. And the movie's going to end on a happy note. No, that's not how it goes. He walks up to her, and I'm sure right off the bat, if you have any semblance of the kind of looks that women can give you, and guys, we all know, right? We all know the look, right? And she gives him the look, and he knows right off the bat, like, all right, yeah, this is not going to go well. It's not going to be me and her running hand in hand on the beach after we leave this prison right here. Yeah, she's not too happy with me. So here we go. And he walks up to her, and she doesn't say word one to him whatsoever. She just hands him, his pocket watch. And the pocket watch has a lock of his mom's hair. And I didn't catch it, but I guess the implication is that Beckett gave her that pocket watch at some point. It was probably in the movie. I've only seen the movie once, and I just completely missed it there. But when she's standing there and she's got this very stoic, unemotional, just very cold look on her face, and she's there just to basically end it with him, and signify that by giving him the pocket watch. Yeah, it's not a happy ending there, and so he's not having a good time. He just got out of prison, but then I'm sure he was hoping beyond hope that Ruth would show up there, and they would run into each other's arms and live happily ever after. But it was not to be. But yeah, Ruth didn't even give him even one word whatsoever. She was like completely wordless. Drove all the way out there just to do that. And man, it's cold, man, very cold. But he got himself into that situation, that's for sure. And then, of course, what happens next? He looks over across the parking lot, and he sees Julia there. She's standing in front of a Rolls Royce or something like that there. And apparently, she's been using the money that Beckett gave her because, of course, at the end of the movie, after, Ed Harris dies, and he's like the last family member of the Redfellow. That's the name of the family. He's the last family member of the Redfellow family, except for Beckett. And of course, that means Beckett inherits the $28 billion family fortune there. And so then that's when Julia's framing of Beckett for killing her husband. That's when he's arrested and tried and convicted, sent to death row there. And so then that's when Julia shows up after he's on death row and says, okay, well, you know what? I think she says like, well, if you sign over your family fortune to me, then I will produce some evidence to get you out of here. Okay, some evidence to prove that you did not kill my husband, and so then you'll get off scot free. So then that's why she's standing in front of like the Rolls Royce in the parking lot, dressed to the nines, and she basically he's looking over there and he's like, oh man, I just lost Ruth. Ruth, the love of my life. All right. I didn't count on falling in love, but I fell in love with Ruth along my journey in this movie. And now she's gone. A good woman is gone there. And so now I'm devastated. And that's what we see after Ruth devastates Beckett by giving him back his pocket watch with a locket of his mom's hair right there. And if for some reason you're watching this episode right here, and even though you haven't seen the movie, and I guess you don't care about spoilers or whatever, this stuff really isn't going to have any resonance until you see the movie. Right now, it probably just sounds like blah 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 as I'm explaining it right there. But yeah, you should go see the movie, and so that way it has more resonance, has more meaning, and all of that stuff right there. Okay, so all right, let's move it along. And real quick here, I just want to remind you that you've got a like button right down there that you can smash. It's right down there. And then also there's a subscribe or follow button, and you can pile drive that button there as well. If you haven't already, if you already have, don't click on it again. Otherwise, you'll unfollow or unsubscribe. And then also there's another button there, the notification bell, that you can smash. And again, it's right down there. And then if you click on that, it's just going to send one lowly, measly little email to you each week whenever there's a brand new Rumble. What's on Rumble? Brand new Movies Merica episode out there waiting for you. Okay. And it might be about a movie that you really are interested in there. And, I'd say most of the time it is right there. So, and then real quick here, just for the folks that are not watching live, if you are just watching recording, well, first off, thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And also I want to add that, yes, we can't live chat with each other during this because it's not live anymore, but we can still communicate back and forth with each other there, okay? You can either still send me, rabid praise or fierce, fierce criticism or, something like, man, you're all right, whatever, kind of apathetic, like kind of apathetic right there. You can send me that kind of communication, but you're gonna have to do it via the comment section, which is also down below. Just get in the comment section and just comment whatever you want. So there you go. Very simple, very easy. And I do read the comments right there. But I just wanted to real quick let you guys know about some buttons in the comment section. And that's why I'm ending this session because I know everyone hates it when I start talking about the buttons in the comments. So we're moving on. All right, so let's do this here. I've got some more how to make a killing to talk about, but not before I wet my whistle again here. There we go. Yeah, I'll tell you, so good.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, I like beer, man. I like beer. Okay, all right. I'm not going to apologize for that. So, and I love beer so much. I have a whole beer segment in each episode right there, but not yet. All right, we got some more how to make a killing to talk about here, and quite frankly, there are funnier movies out there because this movie is supposed to be kind of funny, and it's all about this family where there's a big family fortune to be had for the family members, and part of the plot is how one of the family members is trying to do whatever it takes to get the family fortune no matter what. Okay, and or there's movies where you're just trying to bump off family, okay? Maybe not necessarily for a family fortune, but just for peace of mind, okay? Just so your life isn't a living hell. And so, there's funnier movies, that have those kind of plot lines, like Throw Mama from the Train with Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito, and Anne Ramsey playing Mama, and Owen loves his mama. Owen loves his mama. Just that classic line from Throw Mama from the Train here. That's worth a rewatch right there, by the way. The movie still holds up. And then, of course, there's Knives Out. God, what's Ryan Johnson? That's it. I was trying to figure out who directed that. So Ryan Johnson directed Knives Out, which I liked. A lot of people didn't like it there, but I think that was fallout from him directing The Last Jedi, and The Last Jedi is like the most universally hated Star Wars movie there is out there. And Ryan Johnson directed it. Now, I have a very unpopular take on The Last Jedi. I didn't hate it with the heat of 1,000 suns like many, many people did. I mean, I know it has its flaws. It's not perfect. It's definitely not the best Star Wars movie whatsoever. And the criticisms that I hear about it, a lot of them are valid, but, some take the hate for it a little too overboard. Okay, like they're trying to work out some issues or something like that. But because Ryan Johnson directed that, and I think Knives Out was his next movie after that, Knives Out got the Last Jedi, hate fallout right there. Even though Knives Out is a good movie, pretty funny. Daniel Craig is hilarious in there. Is Benoit Blanc, and then there's a whole cast of characters in there. Chris Evans and Christopher Plummer and Anna de Armas, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon, Jamie Lee Curtis. So whole cast of characters in that. Who's that? Oh, Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah, there we go. Pretty sure that's his name. But anyway, so Knives Out. Another movie that has to deal with like family, sort of, where the main character is inheriting a lot of money, I should say. That's funnier than How to Make a Killing would be. Fletch Lives. Fletch Lives with Chevy Chase back in 1989. Of course, the sequel to Fletch there. And I thought that movie was funnier. There, of course, it's, Chevy Chase doing his Fletch thing, wearing a bunch of different disguises and getting himself into all kinds of wacky adventures. Okay. And that was better. That was funnier than this How to Make a Killing movie there. So so I would actually watch any of those three movies before I watch How to Make a Killing, to be honest with you. But but How to Make a Killing, it's probably going to be out of theaters pretty quickly because it pretty much bombed at the box office there. We keep sending the message to Hollywood that we don't like original movies. We want Drek. We want more Drek because what was the number one movie? I think it was that goat movie, maybe? Might have been Send Help. Which actually that's a good well, no, Send Help wasn't. Oh, it was I think it was, yeah, let's see here. February 25th. Let's see here. Do that. There we go. So yeah, it was Goat. Yeah, Goat got the number one. It's auto right there. So let's do this here. Weekend chart. There we go. All right. Yep. So yeah, Goat, which is a animated movie from Sony Pictures. I think that's original there. So Wuthering Heights, that came in second. That's not really original. That's based off a book. I Can Only Imagine 2. I don't know if that's based on a book. I know it's like a kind of a faith-based movie there. Maybe, I don't know. Crime 101, that's an original movie, but I came in at number 4 there. I think it came in, it was at number 3 for the weekend before that here. Let me do this here real quick. I'm like keeping things from you. I'm holding secrets, I tell you, away from you right there. So yeah, we got the numbers right here. Got Goats, number 1, Wuthering Heights, I Can Only Imagine 2, Crime 101, Send Help. Okay. And then where is, let's see, is that even How to Make a Killing? Yeah, jeez, I'm blind as a bat. How to Make a Killing, way down here at number 6. So I can only imagine two. That was the other. So we got yeah. I'd say I can only imagine two was the other big like new movie. I know Epic Elvis Presley in concert show says new, but it's only in 325 theaters right here. So yeah, between How to Make a Killing in 1,625 theaters, and I can only imagine in 3,100. Wow, I didn't realize it was it's so few theaters. Okay, interesting. Huh. All right. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, because they got all these movies that are like taking up 3,000 theaters. So, and then Send Help is still in 2,800. So, yeah, A24 must not have had a whole lot of faith in How to Make a Killing right there. But all that to say that this movie definitely bombed this weekend here. So they sent the message to Hollywood. Yes, we don't like Glen Powell movies involving murder and family fortunes and all that stuff right there. That's probably a more accurate statement because, as you saw, we did have some original movies get some decent box office. Matter of fact, an original movie that animated movie Goat took the number one spot right there. So, and Send Help is still killing it. That's an original movie from Sam Raimi. That's not based on a book or a TV show or anything like that. So that's still so I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of everybody for going to see Send Help there because it's an original movie, and I'm always trying to get people, man. I'm trying to get people to get to theaters to check out those original movies, and it doesn't always work. It does not always work whatsoever. But last year it definitely didn't work. There was like a couple of movies that I was like really hoping people would go see at the theaters that were original, like a Companion. Companion was a great movie right there. People probably didn't like the name of it because it's not a very sexy name to a movie. It's like it's just called Companion. Kind of boring. I don't know. Honey, do you want to go see Companion? So yeah, it's not Top Gun Maverick. Okay, it's not a sexy name like that there. So not at all. So all right, let's do this here real quick here, because in my thirst buds, is that a word? Thirst buds? I think so. Are begging me to do this next segment. And if you haven't been able to tell yet what I'm talking about is, of course, brew review time. All right, let's check out today's today's brew for brew review time right there. And what we've got here today, ladies and gentlemen, on the docket is some Summer Sioux Citrus Ale from Toppling Goliath Brewing Company out of Decorah, Iowa. And this is their seasonal citrus ale here. And I'm a big fan of some offerings that have come out of Decorah, Iowa, specifically from Toppling Goliath Brewing Company. I am a simp for their Pseudo Sioux IPA. So good, so tasty. One of my favorite beers here. But as you see here, this is not Pseudo Sioux. This is Summer Sioux, and they like to put the T-Rex on their cans, on their labels here, and I dig it. I dig that about you right there. So and hey, I mean, Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern, they would like this beer too, of course. And if you can tell me why that would be in the live chat, hey, you win a cookie. There you go. So, yeah, this, like I said, there's a Pseudo Sioux, there's a Summer Sioux, Toppling Goliath. They have a bunch of like Sioux beers here. Like they have Cyber Sioux and Hazy Days Sioux as well. Bunch of beer names with Sioux in the title there. And now you might be like, hey, Van, that's great. Not really. I really just care about the taste, man. How does this beer taste? All right. Get to the important part. Get to it now. Okay. And this really tastes like sweet tropical citrus. I taste some tangerine in there. And it's just kind of overall zesty here. And so I'm just gonna let you know I'm a fan of Summer Sioux. I would recommend grabbing yourself some of this. So, and I wanted to talk about Summer Sioux right now since it's so summery out here in late February. Yeah, okay. Seemed like the perfect time to talk about Summer Sioux here. In a beer that you probably can't get right now because did I mention it's a seasonal beer? So just I guess you might have to wait a few months to get yourself some summer Sue here. Unless you go to like a big, booze emporium like I go to. I go to Total Wine and More there, and it's because it's like the Costco of booze. You just walk in, and it's like high ceilings and shelves just full of booze and cigars. I'm just walking through that store like, oh, well, oh, mommy, like it's just loving life there. Oh, this booze. Okay, so definitely not a place to hold AA meetings, that's for sure. So, but yeah, I like this right here. It's brewed with Citra hops. And one thing I always like to include in my brew reviews is what kind of foods does each brew pair well with here. And this particular brew pairs well with, and I got to go to my cheat sheet here for this, like grilled shrimp tacos, summer salads, grilled chicken, like grilled chicken with like some zesty seasonings on there, maybe like a lemon pepper, seasoning, something like that on there. And then fruit-based desserts. Okay, so maybe like a fruit pizza, right? Who doesn't like fruit pizza, right? So I guess someone's recommending like down that fruit pizza with some Summer Sue citrus ale right there. And this comes at us with an alcohol by volume of 5.2. All right, so it's got a little bit of a kick for beer. Okay, and now obviously I know it's not Scotch. All right, it's not tequila. It's cerveza. Well, not really. It's beer, but 5.2. For a citrus ale is not half bad. All right, but I'm sick of talking about it. I want to take another drink off this thing. So. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So Summer Sue Citrus Ale, and get yourself some of this right here. You could probably go someplace like Open Bar. That's an app on your phone. I think it's both on iOS and Android now. You can go to Uber Eats if you happen to have this beer in your area. Of course, Uber Eats doesn't just deliver, your Nutter Butters and your pizza or anything like that. You can get booze delivered to your food or to your food, to your food hole. You can get some beer delivered to your place there with Uber Eats. I can go like gopuff.com. It's a website where I'm pretty sure they specialize in getting whatever beer you want, wherever you want in the world. Okay. But it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some scratch, man, there. So if you really want a Summer Sue Citrus Ale and, you live in Bangkok, yeah, they'll get it to you. But it's going to cost you some clams, that's for sure. Okay, so there you go. But just giving you some options there because I don't want to hog all the Summer Sue to myself. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to be that guy. Do not want to be that guy. So, but anyway, let's wrap up this brew review time. All right, let me do something here real quick. I just want to get something going on in here and see if we can do this. All right. Let's do this here. Do that. All right. Just going to do a little house cleaning here real quick here. It will be so short. Don't want to say that as a guy. All right. I will be with you momentarily right here. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So done with that. What should we do next here? Oh, I know what we should do next. What we should do next is I've got something else that I should not hog all to myself here. All right. Let's do this. Oops. All right. Let's get that going on. Do this. All righty, and here we go. So let's check that out right there. That is the Movies Merica merch store. And I didn't want to hog all the merch to myself right there. And I wanted to give you guys the opportunity. We'll just take a little quick gander at what we got here. for Movies Merica merch right there. But, if you don't want to buy any for yourself, if you've got all this stuff already, maybe you went shopping crazy, you bought everything in this store for yourself already, and you're like, hey, you know what? Now it's time to start buying some stuff for maybe some other people. Sorry there. I'm getting all these beer burps over here. I know it's very, very, very uncool. But as you see here, we've got T-shirts here with various Movies Merica logos. This is the big mugs Movies Merica logo on all of this stuff right here. You got the long sleeve T-shirt, tank top, the hoodie, for example. Got a sports bra with the mugs over the jugs there. And then we got another type of Movies Merica logo. We got the Holly Weird Movies Merica logo here. Excuse me. And all these very tantalizing items there. And then we're down to what my favorite Movies Merica logo is, and that's the Black Adam version of the Movies Merica logo. I think it's very, very, very sweet. So choice. So choice. Now you might be saying, hey, Van, I got plenty of gear. I got plenty of clothes. I'm good to go. My closet is full, man. But, I do like to drink, some Summer Sue, and I want a classy pint glass to drink it out of. Well, you know what? Get ready to be happy. You are in luck, friend, because, we got this Movies Merica shaker pint glass here. If you like to drink it out of maybe a can-shaped glass there, just to be different in a cool way, you can definitely do that. If you want to be really weird and drink your beer out of a coffee mug, you can do that, or just drink some coffee by the coffee mug. But we got some other items here as well. Okay. And it's so easy to get to. It's so easy to get to this website here. You just have to go to down in the description. There's the website for the Movies Merica merch store right on down there in the description below where you are seeing my mug there. Okay, so get down there, check that out, and do yourself a favor, get yourself some Movies Merica merch. And I got to say that it does make for a very good conversation starter, because I know I've worn this hat. I've got this hat right here. I've got that hat right there. Unfortunately, it does not have the purple on it. I know I found out the hard way there, but unfortunately, who we go through for merch, they can't get the purple on there. I guess it's just too difficult. But I've got that hat, and then I got a Movies Merica T-shirt as well. And I'll go out in public, and it's been like 3 times. Been like 3 times where I've had people ask me, like, hey, what's Movies Merica? Okay. And you know what? They weren't even drunk when they asked me. Okay. As far as I know, they were stone cold sober when they asked. But it's just kind of a cool, conversation starter right there. And hey, one of the people that asked me about it was a very, very, very luminescent woman. All right, I will just put it that way. So easy on the eyes, that is for sure. There, and we're married now. We have 12 kids, so ended up very happy ending. There you go, nice. You may know her. Her name is Margot Robbie. Yeah, Margot Robbie. She's my wife. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. We'll see if you guys buy that crap. Yeah, there you go. All right, but that's the Movies Merica merch. All right, see if you guys want to buy any of that stuff. It's very cool. You can't wear boring clothes all the time. You got to wear some clothes with some character to it every once in a while, right? Of course. All right, let me double check something right here. Make sure we're good to go there. Yep, we are tip top, ready to rock right there. Okay, and let me get another drink of this. Excellent. Okay. All right, we are to, believe it or not, as we cruise along in this latest episode of Movies Merica, spoiler warning, we are to my favorite segment, personally, of all the Movies Merica shows that I do. And that, of course, if you've watched the show before and you've been paying attention, that would be the Movie Military Moment segment. And maybe asking, hey, what is that? What is this segment all about, man? Tell us more, Mr. Ebert. Well, that is the segment where I pay tribute to a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. Okay, I was, I'm ex-mil or ex-military, and I am unapologetically, unabashedly very patriotic. All right, I love America. All right, I will never apologize for America. We're not perfect, but what country is? Okay, but apparently we're the only country that gets persecuted for not being perfect. Everybody else gets a pass, but not us, not us. But I am unapologetically very pro-American. I'm a massive patriot, and so yeah, I want to pay tribute to a military hero. Now, right now, I can just hear it. I can just hear y'all out there. I can hear it. I can just hear that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right there. I can hear it already. All you going, well, that's very nice of you to pay homage to a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient there, Van. But what in God's name does that have to do with movies, man? And the more I think about it, that's a it's a good question. It's a good question. That's a worthy question right there. And so I will explain that to you, but after this. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls here. So I owe you an explanation, all right? And so the connection between movies and me paying tribute to these military heroes is this. So, as you would imagine, if you are the recipient of a Congressional Medal of Honor, you didn't get it for being the best boot polisher at Fort Benning. You didn't get it for being the best, slop stir at the chow hall at Camp Lejeune. You didn't get it for, you know, best driver, of officers there at, Fort Leonard Wood or something like that, all these bases. No, you got it for doing some cool shit, man. All right, you got it for doing some heroic stuff. You got it for doing like you're in the you're on Iwo Jima, all right, and you're there with your fellow Marines and you're storming the beaches, okay. And the Japs, man, they got you outnumbered, man. They're ready for you, okay, and they were ready for our Marines there. And you're running out of ammo, you're running out of supplies. You have been at the head of the pack of your fellow Marines, and you're in there, and you're shooting rounds left and right, and it's like you can't miss, man. You're taking Japs out left and right. You expend your BAR, that stands for Browning automatic rifle, and you start grabbing grenades, and you start flinging grenades at some Japs at the pillboxes and all that stuff. And then, you see a wounded man over here, and you're like, okay, I know I don't have any cover. The Japs have a clear shot of me. I don't care. Lance Corporal Smith is over there. That's my buddy. That's my brother. All right, I got to go over there and get him. So you get him, and you're getting hit in the leg. You're getting hit in the arm with rounds, but you still go over there. You grab him, and you carry him, and you get him to safety, and you go back out there, and you're just laying waste. You're just ending lives. And you find a flamethrower, and you Kentucky fry some Japs in a pillbox, and there's another pillbox over there, and you see that they're about to like Kentucky fry some of your buddies over there, some of your fellow Marines. And so you've got no gun whatsoever, and you've got no cover. You're completely exposed, and all you got is like one grenade. So you pull the pin, and you run to that pillbox, and you jump into you throw the grenade in there, risking life and limb. You take them out, and you save your Marines from getting flame broiled by those guys right there. And if you were there and you're seeing, this person doing this right here, this hero, you would be like, oh my God, look at him go. Oh my, this is amazing. Wow, this guy is such a badass, man. And if you saw it like on a movie screen right in front of you, it would be a big ass movie military moment. Are you picking up what I'm putting down now? Yes, that's the connection. There we go. So, without further ado, we've kept our honoree waiting long enough here, and our honoree for tonight is a hero that got his honor very recently. Okay, very recently. And so, as of the time when I'm recording this, it's been a couple nights since since President Trump's first State of the Union address of his second term. And tonight's honoree was one of two recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor that were honored at that State of the Union. And in this case, I'm talking about out of those two recipients, I am talking about Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams, who is 100 years young, and he was given his Congressional Medal of Honor. He was awarded his Congressional Medal of Honor at the State of the Union. But hey, don't take my word for it. Let's check it out.
There is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
What an honor. What an honor right there. So just it gets you right there, man. It gets you right there. And like little did he know, like when he was, up there in those jets and fighting, the Russians and the North Koreans and, doing it in those terrible weather conditions, shooting down MiGs and all that stuff. Little did he know that, fast forward, how many decades he would be there at the State of the Union, excuse me, getting a Congressional Medal of Honor presented to him in front of the whole world at the State of the Union by the president himself right there. So very, very cool. Now, President Trump did briefly kind of talk about what Lieutenant Williams did to earn his Congressional Medal of Honor, but he didn't really read the full citation there. So I want to give Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams his due here and read the full citation, giving you the full picture of what this guy did, because this guy didn't just fight in Korea. He flew in Vietnam as well. Okay, so this guy is a total badass over here. So there you go. You think you're a man? That guy's a man. That guy's a man. right there. So let's read more and learn more about Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams here, who earned the Congressional Medal of Honor with his actions during the Korean War. But you know what? Let's give the lieutenant some good old movies military moment music there, shall we? Let's do it. Let's do it. This is the movie military moment. And in this movie military moment, we pay homage to one Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams, who was just awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor by President Trump not 2 days ago as of the taping of this episode. He was awarded that on February 24th, 2026 at the State of the Union address here. So let's learn more about what Lieutenant Williams did to become a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty on 18 November 1952, while leading a division of 3 jet fighters attached to Fighter Squadron 781, BF-781, and embarked on the U.S. Oroscani, while flying a combat patrol mission over the northeastern coastal waters of enemy-held North Korea. Lieutenant Williams demonstrated extraordinary heroism by intercepting a superior course of attacking enemy MiG-15 fighters in order to protect the ships of Task Force 77. After thwarting the enemy's initial attack, he maneuvered his aircraft to make 2 firing passes on one MiG, which is spiraled into the sea. He inflicted heavy damage to a second MiG-15, which started smoking badly and retired from the fight when his own aircraft was severely damaged by a direct hit from one of the remaining enemy MiG-15s. Lieutenant Williams evaded further enemy attack while continuing to direct the dogfight. He eventually found cover in a combat, broke off the engagement, miraculously landed his nearly uncontrollable aircraft on the U.S. Oroscani. His successful airmanship, coupled with his complete disregard for his own personal safety, resulted in 3 enemy MiG-15s, severe damage and so forth, and undoubtedly saved the lives of hundreds of task force sailors. By his undaunted courage, bold initiative, and total devotion to duty, Lieutenant Williams reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest of the United States naval service. And we salute you, Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams, for what you did for this country and your military comrade. And that has been the movie military moment. All right. Ooh, I'm pumped. Ooh, I'm so pumped hearing that citation right there, man. Badass. Just, man, he's a badass. Lieutenant Williams is a badass. I tell you. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of inadequate right now as a man. I'm kind of feeling inadequate. I got to do something. I don't know. I need some tea, some testosterone or something like that. There you go. Because that guy, he set the bar for what a man is right there. So, but yeah, that's Lieutenant Royce Williams there. It was so good to see him get awarded in front of the world by President Trump there at the State of the Union address right there. But yeah, just since I saw that during the State of the Union, I was inspired and I wanted to feature Lieutenant Williams, 100-year-old Lieutenant Royce Williams here on the show there during movie military moments. And so that has been the movie military moment. All right. Hey, just wanted to remind you that if you are appreciating anything that I'm doing here during the show, like the movie military moment, honoring our military heroes there, or appreciating a brew review, or giving you and anybody else a chance to talk about a movie in depth here. In this case, How to Make a Killing today on this episode. If you're appreciating anything that I do in any of my episodes enough to maybe throw $1 or $2 my way, well, just allow me to demonstrate or to show you or explain how you can do exactly that here. And so on Rumble, all you got to do is just open up the live chat window. And so that's done by hitting the live chat or chat button, whatever it's called, down there at the bottom. And then all you got to do is go down to the very bottom where you would type in a live chat message there. And right there, there's a button with a $sign on it. And you can click on that, and it'll pop up another window asking you how much you want to donate. And that's it. Very simple, very easy. Also on Rumble, we do have the tip button there as well. So you can see that right below the screen, a little tip button there. And that's if you want to use your Rumble wallet that you have there to tip this guy right here. Okay, there we go. And then also if you're on YouTube here, it works very close to the same way as it does on Rumble there to throw a buck or two or however much you want to my way. So on YouTube, you got to open up the live chat window if you don't already have it open up here. Again, via the chat or the live chat window there on YouTube. And then down by where you type in your live chat message there, just look for a button that has a dollar bill on it. And when you click on that, it'll open up another little window. It'll ask you how much you want to donate to this guy right here. Okay. And that's it. Again, very simple, very easy, but just wanted to throw that your way, that info your way, in case you were so inclined, in case you had, some big cash burning a hole in your wallet. You're like, man, I got too much money. I got too much cash. It's like that movie Brewster's Millions. Remember Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor and the late great, well, they're both late great, the late great Richard Pryor and John Candy right there. And he's got to get rid of all those. So if you're in that situation and like what I'm doing, hey man, throw all that money my way. Throw that millions my way. There you go. You got to do it. Believe me, I am more than willing to make the sacrifice to help you out with all that money. I'm here for you, brother or sister. I'm here for you. There you go. But all right, enough of that. I feel kind of dirty, begging for money like that. Need to take a shower or something like that. There we go. That's what I got to do. Real quick here. Just got to attend to something real quick here. Let's take care of this. All right. There we go. Woo. There we go. All right. Always got to do something. Always got to do something. There we go. All right. So what should I do next here? Oh, I know what I should tell you. I should tell you what movie I will be talking about next week in all the Movies Merica episodes. And the movie for next week is Scream 7. Yes. Yes, they are coming out with another Scream movie. So scream if you want that they're coming out with another Scream movie, but people keep going to see these things. I keep having to review them. And Scream 7. I know you could you can tell the excitement in my voice. Oh, goody. I get to go see another Scream movie this weekend. Yippee! All right. But hey, you know what? It's what I got to do. Okay. So I'm going to go see Scream 7, and I'm going to be reviewing that spoiler-free on Sunday during my Movies Merica live show on Sunday afternoon. And I should probably tell you what time that comes on. That comes on at 4 p.m. Eastern. So Sunday afternoon. So 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central, 2 Mountain, and 1 Pacific this Sunday afternoon. Going to be spoiler-free reviewing Scream 7. And then, of course, next week, a week from now, Movies Merica spoiler warning will be all about Scream 7. And please, good Lord, please make this movie good. Oh man, I don't want a movie that sucks balls and I gotta dedicate a whole week to it. Please, good Lord, please, 8-pound, 6-ounce baby Jesus. Okay, please give me a good movie here. Right there with Scream 7. Make it at least half as good as the original Scream. Okay, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. Good Lord. All right. So hopefully that preacher from Coming to America is right. There's a God somewhere. There's a God somewhere. All right. Yeah. He rescued Gilligan off the island. Coming to America. Classic movie. There you go. So Scream 7. Yeah, Scream 7 will be the movie for next week right here. Let me double check something here real quick, and we're good to go there. All right. And so, yeah, just wanted to remind you that, hey, I am on some different platforms there that you can follow me on. I'm on X under @Movies and I'm on Facebook. I have a Movies Merica page and group. And I also have my Van Ebert page, Van Ebert profile on Facebook as well. If you'll follow me on there as well. Of course, I'm on Rumble. If you're watching me on Rumble right now, you know, duh, you're on Rumble, duh. Okay. But if you go to Rumble, I look up Movies Merica, you'll probably see at least 3 Movies Merica accounts. So yeah, if you would follow me on all 3 of those, that would be fantabulous, friend. Okay. I'm also on Instagram and I'm on Gab. And what else am I on here? So, boy, that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much about it right there. So yeah, go ahead and follow me on any of those platforms. And then, hey, if you let me know that you followed me via just direct messaging me on X, I will follow you back. So there you go. You help me out. I will follow you back. A very easy, very inexpensive way for you to get a follower. So inexpensive, it's cost you nothing. There you go. Absolutely right. So yeah, go ahead and follow me there. And also, don't hog all the Movies Merica for yourself. Feel free to send a link to my show to whoever you even remotely suspects likes movies. The links are down in the description right down there. You can just forward them the link that shows all my episodes. Now, another scenario where all my past episodes comes in very handy is, a lot of people like to watch movies on streaming, right? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, whatever, right? And so if you're going through, your list of suggested movies and all that stuff, you go through the catalog on all those platforms and you find a movie and it's like, that thumbnail looks pretty intriguing. Oh, ooh, it's got her in there. Ooh, it's got him in there. Ooh. And you're like, yeah, but you know what? I don't know if it's a good movie or not. That's the perfect time to go look up Movies Merica on Rumble or YouTube. And the fastest way to find my review of that movie right there, so you don't waste 2 hours of your time, is on Rumble or YouTube. Just type in Movies Merica and then the name of the movie right there. And then, of course, if you don't want to watch the whole episode of Movies Merica in order to know if it's worth watching or not, according to me right there. And reminder, look for the Movies Merica live episodes. Okay, that's the spoiler-free episodes right there. So yeah, just look up the Movies Merica live episodes there for the movie that you want to watch. Fast forward to like the 45-minute mark. That's usually where you'll find my final thoughts on the movie. And then yeah, listen to my final thoughts right there, because I come at you with like just the regular guy perspective on a movie. Okay, regular guy, the average Joe perspective. I'm not some snooty, snobby film school student, anything like that. I'm not, some uppity Hollywood elite that thinks my shit doesn't stink or anything like that. So no, I'm bringing you the regular guy perspective on movies right there. If a movie sucks, I'm gonna tell you. If it's great, I will sing its praises from the mountaintops right there. But so again, all that to say is that's another great scenario for checking out my episodes right there. So there we go. All right. So getting ready to wrap up this episode, everybody. But I just want to thank everybody for checking out tonight's episode there. And yeah, don't forget to tell your family, friends about this episode here, or just about Movies Merica in general right there. Okay. But as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. And my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/Movies Merica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.